As you board, please move across your car to make room for everyone, and kindly offer available seating to those needing special assistance. If you're standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors. They will be closing in a moment. Thank you.
Hey, howdy, hey, and welcome to Disney Assembled. I'm Troy.
And I'm Mimi.
And we are your happy little father-daughter podcast, here to create some joy and share our love for all things Disney. Mimi, how are you today?
I'm good.
It's been a fantastic week, and we're certainly glad to be recording this wonderful episode for our friends out there who are listening. And we have a great episode for them where we've had a conversation recently with one of our favorite supporters over on Instagram, Rachel, who's got a really interesting story that we will get to a little bit more in a little bit. But before that, why don't we share with each other either some Disney news that's happened this week or how we got our Disney fix this week. So what's been going on with you in terms of Disney?
Yeah, so in light of the new Phineas and Ferb movie, Candace Saves the Universe or whatever, coming out in 6 days, I started watching Phineas and Ferb again. So yeah, that's how I've been getting my Disney fix. I don't know of any Disney news though. Do you know anything?
A little bit of news. I noticed that the Quinjet is now parked at the Avengers campus in California Adventures. So it looks like not production, but construction of Avengers campus is getting ready to start up again, or it's just started up. And it looks like California Adventure or Disneyland in California, I thought I saw some pictures of them putting plexiglass up near the ticket booth. So I'm anticipating, fingers crossed, that Disneyland in California starts to announce maybe their reopening plans soon. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, nope, not a whole lot more Disney news on my end. I think we've just been watching some Disney Plus and getting our Disney fix like that. So I guess that's about it for the news. If you guys want more Disney news, there are some great Disney podcasts out there that specialize in the news. Check them out. We're not really a news podcast, but yeah, that's what we've been doing, right?
Yep.
All right. So before we get into our interview with Rachel, we do have to do the favorite episode, the favorite part of our episode, right? The growing in popularity part of our episodes each week.
All right.
The Disney dad joke of the week.
Oh boy.
So, Mimi, somewhere in the mid 70s, there was a period of time where Mickey and Donald were not in the parks together ever. You would never see them in the parks together at the same time, right?
Okay.
They were always separated. They didn't, matter of fact, Mickey and Donald didn't see each other for about, between like 1978 and 1980, right?
Yeah.
And when you go to the park, sometimes if you go in the Emporium, they have those Pluto hats.
Yeah.
Right. And it looks, if you wear the Pluto hat, it looks like you have Pluto's head.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So around 1980, when Donald came back into the park, Mickey made him wear one of those Pluto hats when he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why?
No.
Because he had never seen him in 2 long ears. Get it?
Yeah.
2 long ears.
That's
They hadn't seen each other since like 1978 to 1980. He hadn't seen him in 2 long years. Okay, there's the Disney dad joke of the week.
That's like stand-up comedian.
Yeah, that
comedy.
was pretty terrible. Please save me. Please save me. Send us a Disney dad joke that we might be able to use on a future episode. DisneyAssembled@gmail.com, and we will be certain to give you all the credit in the world for the joke. So I guess it's time to move into the real content of today's episode, which is a wonderful conversation we had with Rachel, right?
Yeah.
You want to share with our friends a little bit about, how we hooked up with Rachel and how she got involved in having this conversation with us.
Yeah. So Rachel followed us back when we started the podcast, like March or April. And then she reached out to us in in June. And I feel really bad that we've We had
We've
been
been real busy
yeah,
too.
we've been real busy,
Right.
but she reached out to us to be on the podcast, share her story, and we finally got around to interviewing her, and it's really exciting because she was so sweet, and her story is so interesting.
Yes, Rachel was great. She's probably one of the kindest people. I mean, everyone that we've met through the podcast has been really great, but Rachel in particular has been extraordinarily kind. She's frequently, likes our posts on Instagram when we do our lives. She usually, joins in and watches us do our live sessions. But, beyond just being a fan of the show, which is great enough, right? But
Mhm.
Rachel has had to overcome a few things in her life, particularly when she was younger and in school. And Disney played a critical role in helping her overcome some real difficult challenges in life. And she's used that as motivation to just be a better
Yeah.
person. And she's been really involved in a lot of really good causes, since then. And she's just sort of continued to grow as a person and share a lot of great things to the people in the world that she lives in. And so we were thrilled to be able to spend some time with Rachel recently and have a conversation where she could share her story with us for all of our listeners. Right. So without further ado, Mimi, let's go into our conversation with Rachel Kaplan. Rachel, thank you for joining Disney Assembled. Mimi and I are thrilled to have you with us today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being a great follower of our Instagram account. We know that you do a lot of interactions with us and been listening to the show. And so we were thrilled when you reached out to us because we do know that Disney has played a really important part of your life and continues to be a really important part of your life. And so why don't we start for our listeners? Why don't you sort of introduce yourself and just tell them the story about how Disney was influential and the part that Disney still plays in your life?
Okay, so my name's Rachel Kaplan, and when I was younger, I had hard time, reading, learning to talk, words I couldn't, talk with that. So Disney movies, I will have little subtitles put on the TV and to help me sound out words. And because of Disney, I learned to read.
That's cool.
That's cool. And so when you were learning to read and you were watching the movies on TV, because I do the same thing, I always have the subtitles on TV, even, I don't know.
I can't hear the movies if the subtitles aren't on.
I know it's like, what did they
Yeah.
say? Now I know what they said because I can read
Yeah.
it. But was there a particular movie or story that really was like your favorite when you were first learning?
Probably Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary Poppins is one of our favorites.
Mary
too.
Poppins is a big one with a lot of the people that we talk to.
Right.
It seems to be a recurring theme.
Right. Mary Poppins is a big one, and I'm trying to remember when I was a child, some of the story. It was more of the Mickey Mouse little books, like the little cartoons. They would have the short, but then they would make a book version of the short because they didn't have subtitles on TV when I was growing up. I didn't have that technology wasn't quite there. So you're watching the Disney movies and you're using the subtitles and it's helping you learn how to read. And so what did that inspire you to do? I know that you've been writing books and so forth. So how did all this start to become a real inspiration for you to keep growing?
Yeah, when I was going to school, I would get bullied a lot. And I was kind of tired of getting bullied and wanted people to understand what I went through. So I started writing books to tell people what I go through on daily basis, and I still do get bullied and how it used to affect me. And I mean, I still get upset with people bullying me, but I don't mind that anymore.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing. You know, I work in a school, and so I have to deal with the problem of bullying from time to time in our school. And I know as Mimi's grown up, she's had her moments, but certainly I know, you know, from reading about your story, you know, because we did a little bit of reading about you from some articles that you've done in the past and other interviews that you've done, that you've really, you know, overcome that. And sort of, it sounds like in some ways you've used that as motivation to really do good work for people and to be a kind person and so forth, and including the 3 books that you've written. So maybe why don't you tell us a little bit about the books that you've written? 3 books, is that correct? 4 books. Okay.
That's really cool.
Why don't you tell us about the 4 books that you have written, and you know how those books, maybe how your Disney life has influenced you being a writer.
So the first book I ever wrote was probably when I was in high school. And it was about my life, how I grew up with disability and my struggles through life. And then the other books were about important things to me, like rescuing animals or climate, things that is happening. So stuff that is important to me.
Yeah.
And do you still have? I think I read that one of your books was about your rescue dog. Do you still have do you still do work with the rescue organization?
Yes, I do.
And what I can't remember your dog's name. Is it Smokey?
Bond.
Oh, Bond. Okay.
Yeah.
But you wrote a book about a dog.
Yeah,
Was it about
Smokey,
a dog?
Smokey passed away.
Oh, I'm
all
sorry.
All of a sudden, he was fine all of a sudden. And then one morning he wasn't fine, and we found out he had a tumor in his heart.
Yeah.
And it burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, are your books available on Amazon? Is that where would somebody go to find your books?
Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Lulu.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, we'll make sure that we add in the show notes links to how to find your books, right, and how to do that. Because if I read correctly, the most of the proceeds that you make from the sale of your books goes to help to help with the rescue organization. Yeah, that's a great cause, and we're happy to support that for you and to help you spread the word out. Let's talk a bit more about Disney now. You mentioned to me before that one of the big thrills in your life was when your mom took you to Disneyland. Do you want to tell us the story about your trip to Disneyland, maybe that first time, and remember about it?
My first time, I remember walking through the gates, haven't been to Disneyland before, saw the Disney movies, did not know it existed, Disneyland. And I thought I was in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing. And my first character I saw was Minnie Mouse. And my favorite memory was walking down Main Street with Minnie Mouse.
Oh.
I have a memory similar to that with a person sitting next to me on your first trip to Disney. Not Disneyland, but when we went to Disney World.
I don't know.
Minnie was your first character that you saw.
Okay.
So a
I
little,
don't remember that.
Mimi doesn't remember because she was 4. But on her first trip, we went to Disneyland, actually our first trip with her. And actually our first day of our first trip was at Hollywood Studios.
So we were in Disneyland.
Right, we were at Disney World.
Disney
We were
World.
at Disney World. We were at Hollywood Studios, and
So
Mimi
messed
had
up.
dressed in. You were dressed in a Minnie outfit, and you wanted to see polka dot Minnie. You wanted Minnie to be in polka dots.
Yeah, the pink polka
and
dots.
we
Not
walked
even
through,
the red.
Yeah, she wanted the pink polka. It's kind of like the one on the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
And we walked in maybe 10 feet, and pink polka dot Minnie was in the park, and Mimi just took off running to her. We were like, stop, wait. And but it was great. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So so you're at Disneyland, and you've been to Disneyland a few times now.
Every year for my birthday.
Every year for your birthday. So we've been to Disneyland once. We were supposed to go.
We're supposed to go in July,
Yeah.
and then that didn't work out.
Yeah.
But Disneyland is still closed anyway, so like we weren't able to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're getting ready to announce when they're opening, though.
Yeah,
I got a
because they started
feeling.
working on Avengers Campus or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
Putting up some plexiglass around the ticket booths and stuff. So I think they're getting ready to announce soon. But we've been once, and we loved it. Like, it was fantastic for us
Yeah, it was
going
really
to
fun.
both. We went to both Disneyland and
Sorry.
California Adventures. So that was a lot of fun. So in Disneyland, is there a particular area that you like the most?
Toontown.
Yeah. Toontown is fun.
So
Mhm.
tell me about that. Why do you like Toontown so much?
Because it represents the original, not the new Mickey Mouse, but the original, like, Mickey and Minnie houses.
Right,
Mhm.
right. I love the Minnie and Mickey house.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Because we were there and I was like, let's go. And you were like, no, that's such a stupid thing to wait in line for.
Well, we didn't have a whole lot of time, so I didn't want to wait in line for it.
I
But
think
I do like it.
I think that was the night we had all those fast passes to like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
but you
think
were
so.
like you think those things are like cesspools of germs, but the whole thing is a cesspool, so I don't understand. Like I don't
There's a lot of runny-nosed children wiping their hands all over the furniture in those houses.
I like the houses though. I
Yeah,
do.
but it's
The
fun.
first 2 times we went to Disney World, like I have very distinct memory of like doing the houses and like the boat and everything. Like I don't know.
Right. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So is there a particular attraction in Disneyland that you like riding the most?
Small World.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like Small World. I don't know about you.
I feel like a mood for Small World.
Yeah.
I like the faster ones.
I like the air
Yeah.
conditioning of
Small World is a good ride. I really like Small World,
Mhm.
but I don't like it's one of my favorites, but like if I had to pick between like Small World and like a roller coaster, like I
Right.
would pick the roller coaster. Like it has to be like noon or like 1 o'clock
Right.
because it's like air conditioned and it's like 20 minutes.
Right.
You can like sit and like look at all the pretty colors.
It is pretty neat. And I like finding the where they've put the different little characters throughout the
Mhm.
ride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to find
The
them.
first time I went to Disneyland, I rode the Small World 5 times because I was so happy.
Yeah.
It is I mean, I'm gonna tell you, it does make you feel good to be on that
Yeah.
ride. And that's
Yeah.
really important. I mean, I know some people don't like it, but
I don't understand people
understand
that don't
that.
like it. Like
yeah, I don't understand
do you
anyone who
mean?
doesn't
like it doesn't make you cool to
There's
not
only-
like small. Like I,
think
don't
there's
understand.
only I think there's only
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, what's your prejudice? Like, if you could just explain to me a valid reason, like
It's the
maybe
song.
I would.
They don't like the song playing.
That's
over
not a
and over
valid
again.
reason.
Well, it's their reason. Whether it's valid or not, I don't know, but it's their real reason. I tell you, I don't think there's anything that isn't worth liking at Disneyland except for the submarines. Mimi and
Yeah.
we're not a big fan of the
I just
submarines.
okay. I don't like the submarines, but I think if we had a better experience on the submarines, we wouldn't be so, I don't know, harsh on them.
I don't like being stuck inside that submarine. Things are fine.
I don't know.
So, and so I'm gonna. You've been across the way to California Adventures too. Do you enjoy that park as well?
Yes, I do.
What do you like the most about that park? Is there a particular attraction or area that you really like?
Probably the new Little Mermaid ride.
Yeah, it's good.
We like that one. We did that when we went. Were you in my
Yeah.
clamshell with me? No.
No, I was with
brother.
Aunt Julie.
Oh, okay. See, Mimi and I like that ride because it reminds us of the Nemo ride.
Yeah, and the first time I rode it, I was in the play, like in the musical.
Yeah, Irene was in the Little Mermaid musical for her school back then at that point, so she was really into that. So, have you been to Disney World in Florida too, or just Disney?
No. That's Disneyland.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we've been. I don't know. I want to go back to Disney World, but I really want to go back to Disneyland.
Yeah, like I really want to go back to Disney World because there are certain things that I want to do there. Granted, the things that I want to do there are kind of like overhyped, but I still want to. I want to get the chance to decide that for myself, you know.
Right.
But I like Disneyland because you can do it. You can do the whole thing in like a week. Like you don't need to be there for 2.5 weeks to do like with Disney World. It's such a longer and more expensive experience to the point where it becomes a chore. Like. Have to get up and like go walk around for hours on end. Whereas with Disneyland, it's like like the whole thing is a honeymoon phase. You don't ever like grow out of it.
Yeah. Let me tell you from the parent perspective, when I'm trying to book a trip, we would have to go to Disney World for at least 6 or 7 days to feel like we've got a full experience. I really like Disneyland because we could go to Disneyland for 3 days and feel like we've done everything we set out to do, which is a really good thing.
See, but we did that
and you can stay off property easier at Disneyland.
Yeah, you can just walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we did that thing where like we left and we didn't totally do everything, but we felt accomplished. And then we came home, we're like, I really wish we did that. And we felt this like regret. Like we didn't do Indiana Jones.
Right. We do need to do that. I feel embarrassed that we didn't do that.
We wanted to do the Tiki Room.
We did the Tiki Room.
We can skip the Tiki Room.
Yeah. Rachel, I forgot to mention this, or ask this because you'd mentioned it before, but you also mentioned that you have a blog called Disney Life Lessons?
Mm-hmm.
And so when did you start writing that blog?
Probably after I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, make sure you send us a link to that as well, because we can include that in the show notes for people who may want to read, because I think life lessons from Disney are really important. I know behind us there's a few books on the shelf that we've read, or I've read. You haven't read them, but I've read them, and they're really good at putting some good life lessons together, because there's a lot to learn other than just who certain characters are about that Disney can help you with in life. So, what do you want to ask?
Well, I had a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, aside from reading and learning to speak and all that from Disney, did you also gain like not like a sense, but like the lessons that you took from it? Do you think that they shaped who you are? Like with the animal rescue and just being an overall really kind person? Like, do you think you took that from watching all those Disney films?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of examples in Disney of how kindness and taking care of animals and taking care of the environment are really important. Yeah. And even in the Disney parks, they emphasize a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that, I mean, look, if I could move into a Disney park and live there all the time, I would. Right? Because it is a kind place to be, and the people are very nice. And I guess that's one of the big life lessons we can learn from Disney is that everyone's different. Everyone is worthy of respect, and everyone is worthy of kindness and
Yeah.
deserves kindness.
Yeah.
We also learn that people make mistakes
Mm-hmm.
and they can work hard to repair those mistakes as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There are a lot of characters in movies in Disney where people have made big mistakes
Yeah.
and they've had to come back from that and work hard to make it right,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really important lesson. So you met Minnie when you first got in. What other Disney characters are your favorites?
Donald, Doug, Daisy Duck, Pluto. Every character now. It's my favorite.
And is there a particular movie or a TV show that you like more than? I mean, I know you'd mentioned Mary Poppins was very influential, but if you were turning on the TV and you could only watch one Disney movie, which one would you pick?
Beauty and the Beast.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the live action version.
It came out on Disney Plus like 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh,
Mhm.
I'll have to do that. Have
Yeah,
you seen
'cause-
both of them, Rachel?
I have, yeah.
I'm going to assume they're very good.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked the remake. I didn't like it better than the original, but like the remakes are slowly getting like worse and worse, you know, like as they
Mhm.
progress. The Cinderella was really good, Beauty and the Beast is really good, but then we watched Lion King and was like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't finish The Lion King, not because it was poorly made, it's just it was
too
the
much-
same exact
It was too
movie.
much like the first one.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm going to watch the same movie, I'm just going to watch the animated one.
Yeah.
Right. So, I don't know. That's all good. What
Right,
about
'cause-
songs?
Oh yeah.
Because Mimi and I love listening to Disney music. Here's a secret. When I'm at work in my office, I'll put like the Epcot music on, and that's what I'll listen to all day. So, are there any particular pieces of music or songs that you really like?
Mm, probably Mulan.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I like Mulan.
I really like the Hercules soundtrack.
Yeah.
don't like her good enough to
Mulan,
pay $30 to
Hercules,
see.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are all the movies that came out like in the 90s where the music was
Yeah.
just so great. We did our last episode, we talked a lot about how those movies of the 90s brought that musical part
Yeah.
into it. And a lot of them, even Hercules is getting ready to go on stage, and
Hercules is going on stage.
yeah, it can be a stage like a Broadway or whatever. So that would be
That's
really
good.
cool. So Rachel, here's a question we've asked a few people. So we're going to ask you,
Okay.
as this starts talking about, we start talking about how Disney also includes Star Wars and Marvel. So here's a question I've asked Mimi, and I'm going to ask you: would you rather be a Jedi or an Avenger?
Probably an adventure.
Ah, that's so. Mimi wanted to be a Sith Lord. I don't know about that. She's gonna be evil and take over the house.
Okay, fun fact, that like Kylo Ren doll thing.
Mhm.
So we didn't actually buy it. Okay, no, we bought it. Okay.
We didn't steal it.
We
We
didn't
did
steal
buy
it,
it.
but I bought it. So we were running errands. This was like pre-pandemic, you know? And so we're running
Mhm.
errands, and my mom and my dad are like hauling like one end of Target to the next. And then she was like, okay, like for your reward, which what? I was like so confused. I was like, this is just a normal Saturday. Like, why am I getting a reward?
Yeah.
But she was like, okay, you have $10 to buy whatever you want. And I was like, okay. And so I like chose to spend $10 on a Kylo Ren action figure instead of anything else.
But you like
in the
Kylo
Target.
Ren.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's probably your favorite Star Wars character.
No, but like I don't know.
Well,
Like-
Irene wanted to be a Sith Lord. I wanted to be a Jedi. Rachel wants to be an Avenger. So now we have one of each.
Cool.
We can take over the world. We can be a team. We can go do it. We
Yeah.
can go take care of that. So, Rachel, what else about Disney? Is there anything on Disney Plus that you're enjoying very much right now? Any of the original shows that you like?
Yeah. The old 90s TV shows like Kim Possible, The Proud Family. Yeah.
Mimi's been rewatching a lot. What have you been watching?
Boy Meets World
Yeah.
and Phineas and Ferb. I literally love Phineas and Ferb.
Hmm.
I love
What is the one that I like?
Gravity Falls?
Gravity Falls.
What do you mean? What is the one
I
that I
couldn't remember the
like?
name of it all of a sudden. I do like Phineas and Ferb. Was I like Doofenshmirtz?
That's
is like
so
my favorite.
embarrassing. You forgot.
For a moment, I'm getting
That's
old.
so
I had a moment of old person.
disheartening.
I had an old person
We would
moment.
literally throw like parties to like watch the episodes, and you forgot.
I remember Stan. I remember their names, but I for some reason I forgot the show. We actually took a vacation to Oregon during Gravity Falls.
Right, we literally went on a whole vacation, and you forgot the name.
Mimi insisted on us finding like the House of Mystery, which was like, it was very similar to, what is it called on Gravity Falls?
The Mystery Shack. Oh
Shack.
my gosh.
It was like the Mystery Shack. We had to go find this place in the middle of nowhere in Oregon, and we did.
You're a fake fan.
And it was not a fake fan. I just forgot. I'm almost 50 years old. I've been trying to remember a lot of Disney stuff. And there's only so much room in my brain. I have to remove something and add something in. I've used all my memory. So now when I need to remember new stuff, I have to delete something and replace it with new stuff. So
you decided to delete my childhood.
It just happened organically. I'm sorry.
You're just digging yourself a hole, so we're gonna stop continuing that.
Rachel, thanks. This is what it's like living in this house most of the time.
No, it's not.
You're getting a sense of what it's like to be with us, and when especially when we're doing this show. So let's talk more about Disneyland. So when Disneyland reopens, Rachel, let's say you get the next time you go after it opens. What is the first thing you're going to do when you get in there?
Probably see all the characters.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing with the characters at Disney World. I hope Disneyland does something similar where they're
doing like the parade thing.
Yeah, they do little small cavalcades where they come down the street, or some of them are up in the buildings waving at people. Like I saw a video where Pinocchio was up in sort of the tower, and he was waving at people, and what is it, Anastasia and Drusilla are on the castle, and they're making fun of people as they walk by. That's fun. We did a character meal with them. You don't remember that, do you? Because you were still little. Yeah, we did a character meal, and they come by, and they're kind of snarky and fun, which is a lot of.
I think I like what they're doing with the characters, but I wish. Like, since they're not doing meet and greets, I wish they brought out, like, the rarer ones. Like the villains, like the Evil Queen. The Evil Queen is so much fun. She's so fun. But, like, they don't ever bring her out. And so, like, I wish, since they don't have to do meet and greets, like, that they would bring out characters they haven't in a while, you know? Right. I don't know.
So, Rachel, did you ever do, like, did you ever go around, like, when they used to do meet and greets and get autographs? We still have those autograph books.
Yeah, I think mine's in my desk.
Yeah, I think it is too. That was a lot of fun. We don't do that anymore. We don't do the character meals anymore.
Character meals are really expensive. Yeah. So if you're gonna do them, like, we only do one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You usually do it with Winnie the Pooh.
Speaking of meals, Rachel, what are your favorite snacks at Disneyland?
A Mickey pretzel.
That's a good answer.
I like the pretzels.
That's a good answer.
You know what I'm not a big fan of? Popcorn.
Popcorn's just kind of the same.
Here's why.
It tastes like the
popcorn is popcorn.
From BBVA.
Yeah. Popcorn is popcorn. And it makes you thirsty. So now I'm spending even more money because now I have to buy like drinks and stuff with it.
Yeah, that's the whole point though.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they should give you like a free, instead of a free, I don't know. They don't give anything away for free.
No.
They should. Where's the free stuff? I want the free stuff. Well, Rachel, is there anything else you'd like to share with us today about your Disney adventure or what you're looking forward to? Are you working on a new book, or are you taking a break from your writing? What else is going on?
I'm taking a break.
That's fair.
Well, writing is hard. I've done not a lot of writing.
Writing is so hard.
Well, I used to do a lot more writing than I do now, because
all I do is
years ago I wrote a blog. It had nothing to do with Disney, right? But I did it almost daily, and yeah.
It didn't go anywhere.
Well, it's time consuming. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta get inspired, you got to have an idea, you got to write it, you got to edit it, and you got to.
No, writing is so hard. Like, I'm going to school for writing, so it's like writing is so hard. Like, I rarely have inspiration, and then when I do, like, what I write is always like kind of bad, because it's like usually 3 a.m.
No,
So
your
I just,
writing's
like,
pretty
wake
good,
up.
or they wouldn't have accepted you to that school.
True,
Right. So
irrelevant.
we're our own worst critics.
Yeah.
So. Rachel, listen, it's been great to get to know you better. We really appreciate it. We'll make sure we share in the show notes where people can find your books so they can support your cause. And then if you want to share with us where they can find you online, either your blog or your socials feeds, we'll be happy to share that, because you do post some really cool stuff. I know we've seen your Instagram posts, and you do a lot of Disney stuff there, and you do a lot with your rescue dog work there. And it's really important that we do that. And I think it's important that we take care of each other. And I do want to thank you for being so kind and being such a great supporter of our show and finding us. We really are very thankful that you have supported us in our little attempt to bring some joy into the world. And if there's anything we can do to help with you in your work, just reach out to us and let us know. We'd be happy to help.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Cool.
All right.
I really enjoyed talking with Rachel. She was really, really nice, and her story is really cool. And just the work that she does and the way that it all like comes down, like all the way back to Disneyland, I just find that really cool. Like her whole life story, like, revolves around Disney. I think that's just really cool. And she's a really awesome person.
Yeah, Rachel was great. And, listening to her talk about the struggles she had in school when she was younger and how her love for Disney helped her overcome some of those challenges and have helped her become the person that she is today is really inspirational. And it's wonderful. So we're really glad that she got to spend some time with us to record this episode. And we hope that our listeners enjoyed hearing her story as well. And again, in the show notes, we will leave information for how you can find Rachel's books to help her out. Remember, the proceeds from her sales go towards the animal rescue that she supports, as well as how to find her online and to find her really cool blog.
Yeah,
right?
make sure to check her out. Check out her books, her children's books. And then once you're done with that, you can head on over to our Instagram pages. Well, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at Disney Assembled. If you want to do an interview just like we did with Rachel, send us an email, disneyassembled@gmail.com. And if you want to support us further, buy our t-shirts, masks, tapestries, pillows, phone cases, tpublic.com. Just search up Disney Assembled. Everything else will come up. And then if you want to support us even further and get exclusive Patreon content, subscribe to us on Patreon, $5 a month.
Yeah, this is great. So thank you, Mimi, for sharing all of that. And of course, our email address, disneyassembled@gmail.com. And as Mimi said, if you've got a great Disney story to tell, or if you'd like to get the word out about how Disney's made an impact in your life and you'd be interested in doing that with us, let us know. We'll be happy to take a look at that and see what we can do to help you out. In addition to all that, we also have a YouTube channel, and we've added some subscribers recently to our YouTube channel, and we're getting more content up on our YouTube channel. So we'd really appreciate it if you had an interest in helping us again with YouTube. That'd be great. Go ahead and subscribe there. And if you love the show, a great 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts is much appreciated. Well, that's a big episode. We had a lot of fun. It was great to get Rachel on and talk with her. And we're sure our listeners enjoyed listening to her. So I guess that'll do for this week's show. And until next time,
See you real soon.